my name's Audrey. I'm from Tennessee, and I think that a bit of context is important for kind of understanding who I was before Christ. Unlike a lot of people that have come to know the Lord in these really this big moment where all of a sudden they had this encounter with the Lord and everything changed. I have encountered the Lord many, many times and had my life changed, but it has always been in small, faithful ways and not in this one big moment in my life. I grew up in the Bible Belt of America, and so I was surrounded by Christian culture. My parents were believers, and my siblings and I grew up always in church. My parents were really involved, and so we were very involved. And so God was always a part of my life. He wasn't always the center of my life, but he was always there. So there wasn't a point in my life where I didn't know who God was or where I didn't think that God was real. And it wasn't until probably my last couple of years in high school that I actually had a personal relationship with him. And so before that, I had went through some personal things and some things with my family and some things with a church that we were a part of that kind of skewed my view of Christianity and God and what it meant to follow God. And so when I was younger, then I had really just a skewed view. And for a while, I didn't really want anything to do with God or the church. It just wasn't. I just thought it wasn't for me. I was just done. I'd had bad experiences and didn't really want any part of it for a little while. And through that, I also became just kind of an angry person. Was kind of resentful and struggled with some mental health things like anxiety and depression. And so, yeah, before Christ, life was not great, but also God was always there. I just didn't always recognize him. And looking back, my story is a story of God's faithfulness and persistence. Because even when I didn't want anything to do with him, he was still loving me and pursuing me. And it just took me time to get to a place where I could recognize that and accept him. But after I did, my life changed drastically.